Money will likely come into this market, so we'll probably see cash flow.
A flight to quality.
Yeah.
Okay. And you think that's going to have a downward effect on interest rates, apparently?
It has. Certainly this year and yesterday was a good example of that, yes.
Now, retail sales numbers are supposed to come in today, and there are some fears that the economy, actually, if you take out autos, if you take out Asia, actually is getting fairly heated. Does this concern you at all?
Yeah, it does. But you've got the offset that the Federal Reserve is certainly going to be put on hold with the Southeast Asia problems at this time.
Now, what about the effect of Asia on stocks and on American companies specifically? Are we seeing the effects of it in the earnings yet, or do you think that's still to come?
No, I think it's still to come, and in fact, that's really the key in the marketplace today. Selectivity. There's going to be largely a declining expectation of earnings, probably quarter to quarter throughout 1988, probably into 1998.
Tell me the difference in your portfolio makeup now versus, say, 6 months ago. How's it changed?
The major change is we have an increased amount of equities currently because stock prices went down in the fall of 1997. We use that as an opportunity to add to our positions.
You have an increased number of equities, but you're still at 60% bonds?
It's still at 60%.
How high will you go in bonds?
Well, we'll go in bonds. We're pretty much at the maximum in the current environment.
In the current environment?
Yes.
So the outlook for equities, though, you think is worse than bonds, though, say over the next 6 months?
Not necessarily. We're owning bonds in order to be a hedge and protection in an uncertain market environment. We own 40% in equities because we think that those particular equities are going to go up.
Okay. What kind of returns have you had over the past few years?
Oh, the past few years, 17.5% return in the overall fund, and equities have been well over 20%.
Now that compares, of course, to the S&P, which has been quite over 30%, say, for 3 years. I assume you're selling the idea that there's your beta is lower, that it's safer?
The beta is lower. The what's known as the Sharpe ratio is the relationship between returns and risk taken is very high. So yes, we've got a much lower level of risk compared to the amount of return.
Is that a tough sell in this environment, though? Because people are getting pretty spoiled by the returns they've seen over the past few years, and they feel like, you know, I put my money into something, I want as good a return as I'm going to get in the S&P or close to it.
No, actually, money has been flowing in because I think an increasing number of people, institutional investors as well as individuals, are recognizing that there is some value in having assets protected.
In a portion of the portfolio? In
a portion of their portfolio.
Mainly institutions?
Combination of institutions, participants in 401k plans, and retail investors.
Okay, thank you very much. We've been talking with Roger Debard. He's a portfolio manager at Hotchkiss & Wiley Balance Fund. Thank you very much.